Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that some of you might have heard of the story of Gisele Pelicot, and she and her husband were seemingly happily married, and he knew her from the time she was a young person. They were married, I think it was a 50-year relationship, like half a century worth in building a relationship, a home, kids, grandkids, everything. And look what he did to her. Look what he did to her. He turned her into a rag doll. He drugged her, and he allowed other males to have their way with her, and he did it for 10 years 10 years out of her life, and she didn't know it was happening. And here, let me just play this.
Heard about the case of Gisele Pelicot? You should know it is one of the most alarming cases of sexual abuse many people have ever heard. This 71-year-old French woman discovered that for a decade, her husband of 50 years had been drugging her with sleeping pills, grinding them up into her food and drinks, and then inviting other men to come and rape her while she was unconscious. They were mostly strangers her husband enlisted on an adult website, but one she recognized as a neighbor. She told the judge, "He came over to check our bikes. I used to see him at the bakery. He was always polite. I had no idea he was coming to rape me." Police have evidence of 200 rapes, which they uncovered accidentally while investigating her husband for an unrelated charge of filming up women's skirts at a local supermarket. Authorities gained access to his computer and discovered a folder on a hard drive labeled Abuses, which contained photos and videos of dozens and dozens of men raping his wife. As part of their investigation, police drew up a list of 72 people suspected of abusing her. They were able to identify many of them using facial recognition software, and now 50 of these men are on trial in France, as is her husband, most facing up to 20 years in prison for aggravated rape if they're convicted.
Well, yeah, that happened to her. And then here, let me pull it down. There's this particular video. It's floating around, and let me see if I can play it. Come on, I'll play.
I don't think your soulmate would be thrown off your pH. I don't think your soulmate would be giving you yeast infections. I don't think your soulmate would be making you all funky down there. You don't need the douches and the washes. You need to throw the man away. It's clearly the wrong man. Maybe it's a physical sign that he is not in alignment with you. And when you understand that every sickness, illness, and ailment first starts out on an energetic and emotional level and then manifests physically, then this makes sense.
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk of relationships, and I feel as though women are, I think we got the bad end of the stick because we're the ones who house babies inside of us, inside our wombs. We're the ones who have to bring them into the world. We're the ones who have to love them, kiss them, give them, morals, and, send them out into the world and hope. You keep your fingers crossed and hope that they don't bring the authorities to your door. It's a real hard task for women, for females. And with that in mind, I think it is incumbent on females, on women, to be at their utmost, like, for instance, education-wise and financial stability wise, before you ever entertain the thought of birthing an enemy, birthing your oppressor, birthing that rapist, birthing that inmate. I think you need to make sure that your background, your history, the family background, and your mental background, and your financial background, everything, every background must be minded, must be examined before you have a child. This is something that is going to take a while to get through to women. You know, it's going to take you a while because it seems as though you are bred to do what you do, to have children and to be with a man. It seems as though that's the way the governments and the church and everything has set it up to be that way. So it's going to take a while for you to realize that maybe like 99% of the chance would be that you are courting your enemy. This is Sherry Veronica.